Okay, here's my 1966 Bentley T four-door saloon. This has previously won a club concours a couple of years ago, and as you can see, it's in beautiful condition. The reason I bought this car was because of the very rare Webasto sunroof, Tudor, by a company called Tudor. I love this because basically you get a convertible experience from a four-door and without the convertible price tag, you might say. So it certainly is a wonderful car to drive, and every person that's been in the car with me just loves that roof feature. And as I say, that's the reason why I bought it. The paint was done by Curran's, sort of a specialist prestige painter. They do a lot of Bentleys and Rolls Royces and high-end cars. The paint is good, but there are a few imperfections in it. So, you know, it wasn't a complete back to bare metal respray. But for a car that was resprayed, and I'm not sure how many years ago now, but it must be a good 5 or 6, you can see it looks really, really beautiful. But an example of, you know, some of the imperfection is there's a bit of sink back up here. You can see around here. So there are a few imperfections, but I'd say most people who look at the car that are not super picky would look at the car and just go, as they do, oh, that's magnificent, that's really beautiful. And I always get compliments in it. I'm a bit of a car nut. I'm the former Deputy Chairman of the Bentley Drivers Club. I'm also a member of the Rolls Royce Owners Club, and I've owned 6 Rolls Royces and Bentleys, several of them coach-built cars, very rare cars. So, you know, I have fairly high standards, and this T is a car that is of high standard. But that being said, for the money that these cars go for, sorry I left this in here, I'll just get that out. For the money that these cars go for, it's not worth spending, you know, $60,000, $70,000 on restoration, because you'll just never get it back. So anyway, I'll just show you the inside. You can see in here, quite beautiful, the leather has been redone, the seats. This is new seats, new leather on these seat cushions, as you can see. Likewise in the rear. The only thing that was not done was the door cards. That's original leather, but to the purchaser, I can supply new leather that matches this for no cost if the price is okay on the car. And then all you need to do is pay labour at a wholesale rate with a trimmer that I use. So if you wanted to change that, then you can. But as you can see, they're quite good. Obviously all the carpets are new in the car. All front and back. All the just need to open the door here, sorry. All the wood has been redone by a specialist who just does Rolls Royce and Bentley woodwork, and it's quite magnificent, this wood in this car. You can see for yourself just how beautiful and glossy it is. And they're all like new, you know, even see the rear quarter windows with the mirrors, they've been redone. Even the trim around the window, the wood around the window has been redone. To find that is very difficult. Well, a lot of people just don't have that attention to detail. So, just in here, you can see the beautiful wooden interior. As I say, lovely. This car did come from America, and you can see in here Rolls Royce of Beverly Hills. I'll just focus that. So at one point it was in Beverly Hills. There's a original handbook there. You see that red one there? I'll take some of this rubbish out, but there's an original Rolls-Royce Bentley handbook there for the car. I've also fitted a classic stereo. It looks old, but it's actually new, and you can take MP3 through here. So it's, you know, it's very sympathetic, but it's sort of the new technology, you might say. This is a bit of fun. This is a phone that I bought that did connect to my phone, Bluetooth. So I just think it was kind of funky to go with the car. Here you can see the Tudor roof. So basically, to open this, you pull that down and then tilt it back like that. Okay, so just again to show you, you pull this lever down and then twist it back, and you can see that actually pushes out then, and then it's just a matter of sliding the roof back by hand, which is what I just did then. Okay, so there we go. So I'll just point out that this roof, we had it all out and restored it and made some improvements to it. You know, behind here there's a metal piece that was before sort of a cardboard piece, which I had a sort of a craftsman bend because it was quite difficult to do to match the shape of the roof. Here you've got a special seal. You look at this rubber seal here, which was never on the cars originally, and it just makes it look perfect and as it should be. So I wanted to, when I went to the effort, to really make sure that the car was beautiful. But as you can see, you know, being able to look out the roof, to be driving along and look up at the sky is quite amazing, and it's also fantastic for your rear passengers too. So there, that shows you it's a Tudor Webasto roof. Anyway, I'll just open the bonnet there. If you look here, you can see all these pads have been redone. They were made from a fabric called Nomex, which is fire retardant fabric. Racing car drivers use them in their suits so they can't catch fire. And you won't find that on other cars. You know, people sometimes put polyester, which of course is very dangerous in a hot engine bay. So I started the restoration of the engine area, but I really decided, you know, with the costs involved in this car, it's just too much for me to pay a workman at $130 an hour to restore it. I mean, it works on coach-built cars, but on this car, difficult. So basically, this is really just a tidy car. You know, the carburettors have all been rebuilt. You know, the jets and all the carby kits through them. A new alternator's just been put on here, so that's stronger than the one that was on before, and you know, produces the correct 14.4 volts out of it. Here you can see this brake reservoir is, you know, it's been recoated. I can't remember what my mechanic did with it, some sort of CAD plating or zinc plating, something like that. But basically, there it is. This car never came with air conditioning as original fitment, because it was 1966 and basically they didn't have them as original fitment then. But you can see a bracket has been fitted here, and that's where it goes. You can see there's a receiver dryer down there, and basically everything was installed, and I believe it was working at some point. But when I received the car, basically I just got the Just pardon the mess here, but oh, I got the there's a compressor. Sorry, it's been put in another location, but there is a compressor that comes with the car, which is just a General Motors compressor. That's what they used in Shadows a little bit later on. It's called an GM A6 compressor, and basically that just bolts onto there. But all the under dash stuff for the air conditioning is there. The only thing that's missing was I didn't like the switch that they had in it. Here you can see, if you look underneath, there's the you know, some of the tubing and so on, and there'll be I think they call it a condenser. I'm no expert on those things, but that's already up here. Okay, so it just needs a switch to be put, you know, around the steering column, and I didn't like the quality of what they had there, and they just ran a wire to the fuse box, and it wasn't as professional as I like, so I intended to do it properly with a better looking switch. But they're really the main things that have got to be done, and put a compressor GM A6 unit. They're used in Cadillacs, and you know, you can buy them on eBay for about $250 US for a new reconditioned one. But you've got the bracket, the bracketry, the stuff under the dash is the important stuff, and you've only got to buy a switch. So it won't be that difficult to you know, get a air conditioning up and running on this car. I've just run out of time, unfortunately, on this car to get that done. But that's sort of the outstanding thing on this car. You know, all the electric motors in the windows work. So, you know, no issues there. The boot, I haven't showed you the boot. This is all, just let me put this down for a minute. Sorry about this. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot I had a few things in the boot there. All this is new carpet, and you can see I've even done underneath here. Light works in the boot. So to find a T that has all those things done, it's rare. I do have the jack that goes here. It's just inside, and I need to bring that out. I'll do that in a minute. This is the wind deflector that sits into the Webasto roof. You can see these mounting points here and on the other side. So those prongs from, can you see the two prongs sticking out? One prong here and one over there. They sort of slot in, and it sits up a little bit and the wind gets deflected. I don't find it too bad without driving without the wind deflector, but it's nice to have the original thing with the car. There's also a car cover here that goes with the car, a beautiful soft flannelette one, which I used to use when it was in storage in my warehouse. So there you have it. You don't slam it, you can see I just touched it closed. Even got little Bentley insignias on the speakers, which were fitted. So it's a lovely car. I just thought of one other thing that doesn't it needs just one bit of adjustment. These side blinkers, when you turn the indicator stalk up or down, obviously if you're turning left, that side blinker will come on and your blinkers front and rear come on. Inside the steering column, there's tiny little brass, I don't know what you call it, but it's some sort of contact point, and it just needs bending down a little bit, because when you turn, I think it's right, yes, when you're turning right, the indicator will work. Okay, so when you do that, the indicator will work, that's no problem, but you have to push it up just that last little bit to engage it so that this one comes on. And as I say, it's just an adjustment thing, it's no big deal. The mechanic can do it just by taking the steering column off. Well, just the cowl, basically, this cowl. There's some screws underneath. But, you know, as it stands, if you put the indicator on, the front and rear will work. It's just that this little side one won't unless you do that last little bit up, okay? But if you're turning left and you just do that, then you'll see everything flashes as it should. All three flasher lights work. So it's just a tiny adjustment that's required to fix that. And sorry I ran out of time to be able to do that. But I'll miss this car. It's a lovely car and I put a lot of effort into it, and it'll certainly make a great home. Like all cars, you can continue to improve it. In my opinion, you know, you could continue to, if you're handy, continue to play with the engine bay, and that would make it very special. But as I say, in its current form, it has won a Club Concours for a T. That just shows you how good this car is compared to most that are out there. So I'd certainly encourage you to seriously consider the car, and as I say, as an enthusiast, it's a bit like selling a baby. I don't like it, but I am moving to America. So all the very best, and thank you for listening to the video.